So President Obama, as you all know, at the end of last week, decided, hey, you know what, let's cut Social Security. That's a brilliant move. Democrats have historically protected Social Security ever since it's been formed. They were the party, of course, that introduced it. It's only the most popular policy in the whole country. And every single poll shows over 80% of Americans say don't cut it under any circumstances. So President Obama, in his infinite political wisdom, has decided that it'd be a genius political move to preempt the Republicans and offer them a preemptive compromise as usual and say that he will cut Social Security through a thing called a chained CPI. Now, back in December of 2012, last year, when they were having these negotiations, Bloomberg reports that it was the #1 priority of John Boehner. He said they reported at the time, a Republican congressional aide said Boehner is pressing harder for the CPI revision than for other entitlement changes, such as an increase in Medicare eligibility age. So he cared more about it than anything else, and Obama just gives it to him and says, okay, this is his genius negotiation strategy. So then it looks like there's some positive movement. Senator Graham from South Carolina, a Republican, has this to say.
Do you think that the president's framework that he announced, including chain CPI, a gradual way to cut Social Security benefits, is a good faith effort?
Yes. There are nuggets of his budget that I think are optimistic. It's overall a bad plan for the economy, but when you look at chain CPI and Medicare reductions, we're beginning to set the stage for the grand bargain. So I'm looking for the biggest spending cut in American history by reforming entitlements, saving those entitlements, and the president's showing a little bit of leg here. This is somewhat encouraging. His overall budget's not going to make it, but he has sort of made a step forward in the entitlement reform process that would allow a guy like me to begin to talk about flattening the tax code and generating more revenue.
All right, so two things you get out of that. First of all, we'll take everything he gives us and, okay, hey, cutting Social Security, hurting senior citizens and veterans and disabled people. That sounds good to a Republican. Thank you very much for offering that without us having to go out and make a public case for it. Thank you for saving the Republican Party on that. Oh, by the way, the rest of your budget I got no interest in. So I'm going to take everything you gave me and I'm going to offer almost nothing in return. Oh, great. That's a great start. Now, John Boehner, this is the thing that you wanted most. So what is your reaction to this? Let's find out.
He does deserve some credit for some incremental entitlement reforms they has outlined in his budget. But I would hope that he would not hold hostage these modest reforms for his demand for bigger tax hikes.
So a tiny, modest nothing. Okay, I mean, fine. You showed me a little leg. I'll give you a tiny bit of credit. What am I going to give in return? Bupkis. Nothing. I mean, I would hope that he's not going to hold that hostage for something he wants. The idiot already gave it to me. Why would I give anything in return? Knucklehead. Now, Paul Ryan goes even further. He says, now, quote, I don't see this as an entitlement reform as much as clarifying a statistic. So now it's not even entitlement reform. It doesn't count. I want more cuts of Social Security and more cuts of Medicare, but I actually won't say it in public. I'll make you say it, and then, by the way, as we did in the 2012 election and the 2010 election, we'll use it against you in the elections. We'll say, hey, you know what? Obama's the one who cut Medicare by $716 billion. But wait a minute, Paul Ryan, that's also in your plan. In fact, you use the $716 billion and want to cut it even more. In fact, after the election, you demanded that he cut it even more than that. Oh, it doesn't matter. During the election, oh, son of a bitch, Obama, the Democrats cutting Medicare, right? You think they won't do the same thing on Social Security? Well, if you think that, you don't know anything about politics. You don't watch it, you don't follow it, you're not good at it, okay? Of course they're going to use it against him. In fact, here comes Representative Walden from Oregon to do just that. Watch.
Well, I thought it's very intriguing in that his budget really lays out kind of a shocking attack on seniors, if you will. And we haven't seen all the detail yet, so we'll look at it. But I'll tell you, when you're going after seniors the way he's already done on Obamacare, taking $700 billion out of Medicare to put into Obamacare, and now coming back at seniors again, I think you're crossing that line very quickly here in terms of denying access to seniors for health care. And just
Okay, that's awesome. You know what happened? They said that's a Republican. That's not a progressive. That's a Republican saying, oh, he crossed the line, man, cutting into senior citizen stuff. No, Walden, you schmuck. You skipped ahead. Right now, you're supposed to encourage him and goad him into doing more Social Security and more Medicare cuts. And then you say what you just said right before the election. In fact, here comes John Boehner saying, hey, you're all alone there on Walden Pond over there. Bring it back in. Here he is.
I've made it clear that I disagree with what Chairman Walden said. He and I have had a conversation about it, and I expect that this is the least we must do to begin to solve the problems in Social Security.
So, take it easy. This guy's giving away the store. Let him keep giving it away. And then we'll blame him for it. Come on, get wise to the Republican talking points. What's the matter with you? So, what have we gained? We've gained, as usual, nothing from the Republicans. And what Obama's done is put the Democratic seal of approval on cutting Social Security. Genius. Well played as usual. That is some three-dimensional chess, man. I did not see that coming. Oh, Republicans, take my queen. Got you. No, you didn't.